Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, entitled The Forest of Enjoyment, Text 29. It's a very long prose. I think we're gonna skip it. Sanskrit, we'll just read translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The personal weapon used by Lord Krishna, the disc, is called Hari Chakra, the disc of Hari. This chakra is the wheel of time. It expands from the beginning of the atoms up to the time of Brahma's death, and it controls all activities. It is always revolving and spending the lives of the living entities, from Lord Brahma down to the insignificant blade of grass. Thus one changes from infancy to childhood to youth and maturity, and thus one approaches the end of life. It is impossible to check this wheel of time. The wheel is very exacting because it is the personal weapon of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes the conditioned soul, fearing the approach of death, wants to worship someone who can save him from imminent danger. When he does not care for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose weapon is the indefatigable time factor. The conditioned soul instead takes shelter of a man-made God described in unauthorized scriptures. Such gods are like buzzards, vultures, herons, and crows. Vedic scriptures do not refer to them. Imminent death is like the attack of a lion, and neither vultures, buzzards, crows, nor herons can save one from such an attack. One who takes shelter of an unauthorized man-made gods cannot be saved from the clutches of death. Om Jnanatimirandasya Giranjanachalaka Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Praya Krishna Prishta Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namate Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharne Deveshi Shushnyavadi Paschakya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. As we heard from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita about Devananda Pandit's devotional service, which was not devotional before he received the mercy of a devotee. So we see there is a constant theme in the Shastras that on our own we just cannot achieve Krishna. That's like Raghunath Das Goswami, before he received the mercy of Lord Nityananda, he wasn't able to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Devananda Pandit also, by the mercy of Varakeshwar Pandit, he was able to receive the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I say before he was a great scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam, but he didn't understand the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, without the mercy of devotee, one can really remain in illusion for a long, long period of time. Although one may think oneself to be a very accomplished in any sphere of life. So that's why we have to understand the import of the scriptures through the devotees of the Lord, not by any our personal endeavor only. So here in this verse today, how to understand the wheel of time. As like many times we are hearing, the time is passing. Our life is becoming diminished, but we don't act upon it. When we start acting upon it, it is only by the urge of some devotee. We become serious in spiritual life. Otherwise we take things very casually. We say, oh yeah, I know it, but it didn't create an impetus for you to act upon it. It didn't create any realization. It didn't create any value. It didn't create any urge. So many people know about, I know about Krishna. I know about Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Oh yes, I have Bhagavad Gita. But what they're doing about it? Nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So this is why again this emphasis of association is so important. Because only by association one can change something in his life. One can improve something in his life. One can become devotional. That's why they said the Guru gives the seed of bhakti. So devotees give the seed of bhakti. Of course, seed is already there, but that watering process has to revive that bhakti. So here also, this wheel of time, Hari Chakra, the disc of Hari, it's expanding from the atom up to the time of Brahma's death and controls all the activities. So we see there is nothing we can do. Can we stop the time? No. Can we control the time in some way? Sometimes maybe fast forward or sometimes, reverse or this and that. No, we cannot control the time because time is Krishna. Time, I am the destroyer of the world. No? Destroyer of the universe. So as I said, it is always revolving and spending the lives of the living entities. So there's nothing we can do against the time. There's absolutely nothing can be done. It's just so powerful, so powerful. That's why we have to be very conscious of time as much as possible and not waste that time. We said already, 1/3 of life is gone into sleeping. And then 2/3, they're also, and so much time is wasted. So much time is wasted. But how much it remains for us to, let's say, read the Shastra, chant the holy name, be Krishna conscious, do some service. Not very, very much time left. That's whatever time is left or whatever time we have, we should not waste it. How nowadays everybody's wasting time, it's just inconceivable. As soon as you open your mobile phone and any suggested site or whatever, immediately after that another one pops up. No? It doesn't allow you to stay away. No? It's not allowing you to think of anything else but whatever they want you to follow. They want you to be glued on internet 24/7. No? That's why so many now, you see this, you hear that, you hear that. No? That's Maya. Maya will not let you go. You think I'm controlling, I'm choosing maybe I don't like this one so much. Oh, there's another one coming. Oh, this one's good. Now, let me see what is there, what this one says. No? You think I'm choosing, but you're already trapped. You're already trapped. But when the devotee says, hey, wait a little bit, can you do some service? No, I'm so busy. I don't have time. That's why devotees don't let others also. They try to cut hold, engage everyone. There's so much service to be done. How much service is there to be done? How many jivas are in Maya that have to be pulled out of that illusion? So much service is to be done. So much service. But then we take to some other priorities. We're prioritizing something else. So that's why time is very important. Time is one of the subjects of Bhagavad Gita, no? So we have to understand this influence of time. Everything is manifesting and everything is being destroyed by the influence of time. And there's no one who is immune to it. No one. Absolutely no one, except Krishna. Or maybe some Nitya Siddha who has come from the spiritual world, in spiritual body. But everybody else in this world is affected by the time. Let's see how the time is passing, how the body is changing. Even something that was good starts falling apart. So there's nothing that can be maintained. Everything is influenced by the will of the Lord. So here in the second part of the verse, it says that sometimes, conditioned soul gets that realization of the powerful influence of the time, fearing the approach of death. So then it takes shelter of some imaginary man-made God. It creates its own worshipable deity. Just like nowadays also people have their own worshipable deities. They don't care about Krishna, no. But they will worship some politician, no. They will worship some movie star, they will worship some sports star or this and that, no. Man-made God. No. So that's why these so-called man-made gods are compared like buzzards. What's the buzzard? What's the buzzard? How it looks like. Vultures, herons and crows, as you know. Search on internet, Baba. At least now you use the internet. What's the buzzard? Type in buzzard. B-U-Z-Z-A-R-D-S. That's the buzzard. It's like some kind of hawk. Huh? Raven or chill, no? Maybe chill. Yeah, looks like chill, no? Looks like chill. Because sometimes they appear very big, no? They appear very powerful. But powerful for what? Powerful for what? Like Srila Prabhupada would give example. Vulture, he has such a power of eyesight, no? He can fly miles up and he can spot on the ground some carcass, no? Very powerful eyesight. But what is he using his eyesight for? Finding a corpse? No. So what's the use of that? Of course for him it's to survive, that's okay, but the power of eyesight, misused. So in the same way, there are some people, maybe they have a temporary position, but what they're using this for? Sense gratification. sense gratification. Yeah. Indriya tripti. Well, so what is the use of that? So then, will that save us from birth? Will that save us from old age? Will that save us from disease, death? No. What is the use? For something temporary that actually keeps on entangling us even more. So that's why this man-made gods cannot save one from the influence of the time. No? That's very interesting. There is nothing. Empires have crumbled in the course of time. There's nothing that can stand in front of power of time. Nothing. You try to make something self-proof, nothing. Time will affect it. You may think I have a nice mobile. That mobile also will become updated and rusty and broken and start falling apart. It's not going to last forever also. Your relationships, you get married, but in the course of time and over influence of the time, some issues will be there. Everything in due course of time, you wouldn't be able to predict, neither you will be able to perceive how things are changing, why things are changing. And then you will be very often in shock that how come this influence now? Where is that coming from? Why is that coming from? We will have absolutely no control. It's all due to the influence of time. Different karmas are manifested. And everything will start breaking down. Everything will start breaking down. That's why we learn how to be detached. We learn how to be detached. Whatever is there at the moment, we see how we can connect and use for Krishna's service. Because that is the influence of time. And then thinking of something that will preserve our position, some kind of help of someone who has a little better position than we do, and thinking that we can appease them and satisfy them so they can favor us. This is what is described here. This is it's just madness. Because one cannot be saved from the imminent death. Here the example is given when a lion jumps. I saw just recently there was some boys. So one of them had a desire to tame the lion. That was his dream. I will tame the lion. I mean, what kind of idiot you have to be, no? So somehow two of them, so one was outside recording with his mobile and the other one went inside the enclosure where the lion was, and he tried to tame the lion. And of course the lion killed him and this fellow recorded it. I mean, how stupid you have to be, no? Really, Okay, so now you tame the time. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. I mean, you have to be an idiot. How are you going to do this? Nobody had said, Ravana couldn't do it, Hiranyakashipu couldn't do it, no? I mean, who are we? Yeah. It's just unstoppable. And just as it said here, it's just always revolving and it's expanding. It's expanding till the end of the Brahma's death. That means till everybody's finished. That's the influence of time. And time, we know as a factor, comes with the Krishna's glance. And it glances over material energy. That potency, no different from Krishna. It is infused within the material universe. So because of time, things can start. Because of time, things can annihilate everything, destroy everything. So that's why the one who doesn't care about Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he will be subjected to this time factor. And one won't be able to do anything. And never be. Only Krishna can save us. Only Krishna can somehow. If Krishna wants, as like Prabhupada said, Krishna extended my life for 10 years. He said that. So Krishna can do that if there is a requirement for it, no? Otherwise, no. Otherwise, there won't be any interference. No? So, in the purport, it is said, Srila Prabhupada is saying, it is stated, Harim Vina Naiva Sritrim Taranti. Nobody can save himself from the cruel hands of death without being favored by Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita it is stated, Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Whoever fully surrenders unto Krishna can be saved from cruel hands of material nature. The conditioned soul, however, sometimes wants to take shelter of a demigod, man-made god, pseudo-incarnation, or Bogoswami or yogi. Yes, they will save us. They will give us blessings. They will cure our diseases. No, cure our diseases. All these cheaters claim to follow religious principles, and all this has become very popular in the age of Kali. There are many Pashandis, Pashandi means non-believer, who without referring to the Shastras pose themselves as incarnations, and foolish people follow them. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has left behind him Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Not referring to these authorized scriptures, the rascals take shelter of man-made scriptures and try to compete with Lord Krishna. And now it's kind of become really afraid now. This AI, no? What will happen? It's going to become an authority for everything. It's going to be very dangerous. You know? AI is saying, but who is AI? You know? It's not going to be Bhagavad Gita is saying, or Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. Whew. I don't know, Kali Yuga, let's see what happens. It doesn't look good. Everything's going to be artificial. Artificial. This, artificial, that. We already have artificial food, artificial this, artificial that. No. What kind of life is it then? Then what's real? What's natural? So this is the greatest difficulty one encounters when trying to promote spiritual consciousness in human society. Krishna conscious movement is trying its best to bring people back to Krishna consciousness in its pure form. But the Pashandis and atheists who are cheaters are so numerous that sometimes we become perplexed and wonder how to push this movement forward. Yeah? It's so difficult because who has a trust in a pure process? And there are so many who present, no, my process is the best process. Follow me. You know, they're very, very, very persuasive, very forceful, yeah? Very enthusiastic. How do we present the essence? How do we present the real pure substance? It becomes a challenge. In any case, we cannot accept the unauthorized ways of so-called incarnations, gods, cheaters, and bluffers, who are described here as crows, vultures, buzzards, and herons. So devotees will never accept any of those, because they know what the substance is again. Yeah, they know what is the standard. But it's going to be difficult for those who are not devotees yet. No? How do devotees convince those who are innocent? That's going to be a challenge. Especially now, as we said, Kali Yuga is advancing and so many different sources of knowledge are present. So whom are we going to trust? Whom are we going to follow? It's going to be a challenge. Okay, any questions on this? Or maybe before we ask questions, what about yesterday's point? Yeah.
Yesterday we discussed about the illusion personified.
Illusion personified, yes.
Right.
The form of
Right, girlfriend.
yeah.
And Prabhuji, we had discussed about insurmountable. You explained how the miseries in this world are like uncrossable.
Yeah. Miseries are unsurmountable. There are so many. What else? Just quickly, we want to elaborate, just mention.
And we compared all the senses with different creatures.
Senses with?
Different types of creatures, like our tongue is like compared with fish.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we gave that example. How we get trapped. And then because we are so trapped also, we lose our life and we lose our... This is another thing following here. Unauthorized authorities. Unauthorized authorities. Yeah. Somebody who poses himself as an authority and misguides everyone. There are so many people, they will take something from the Shastra and then just twist it in such a way that it's just demoniac, really demoniac. And people will be, wow, yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. And it sounds authorized because it sounds similar to, something spiritual. There's nothing spiritual about it. And one Daskal, they made a temple and it looks like Shiva Linga, no? It has nothing to do with Shastra. They're just using certain external form and presenting absolute nonsense, And people love it. They love it because they get their own sense gratification and they think it's justified. They love it. It's amazing what a cheating goes on. Yeah. It's like you come to a doctor and he gives you medicine. Of course, the medicine is not real medicine, but anyway. But he also never gives you any diet. And you're so happy, wow, I just continue with what I'm doing, And I just take this little bit, to improve my ability to remain sinful. Yeah. Is that going to work? No. You're sick because your diet made you sick. So you have to change it. If you don't change it, you're just going to make it worse. No, but I'm sinful. I want to continue being sinful, and now I'm getting encouragement that yes, I can remain sinful, but I just add certain other things that I think will improve my condition. But it just becomes worse. That's what cheaters and the cheater, that's all. So those who are not sincere, yes, that they will get such kind of cheater. Yeah. Okay, anything else? Yes.
In ignorance, both ugly female and male and females looks each other like...
That's in lust. Lust makes everything covered. Any clear perception, it's blurred, it's destroyed. No, that's when lust. Everything looks suitable for lust. That's all.
What punishment does an atheist receive? Atheist receive. What punishment does an atheist receive? Question.
But what punishment? But as anybody else who doesn't follow the Shastra, it's the same thing, atheist or non-atheist. because you're committing sinful activities, you get the same reaction. Same reaction. Because atheists, most likely, he will not be vegetarian. No. Maybe sometimes. Just like Hitler was vegetarian, let's say. But in general, they're sinful. They might be very sophisticated, sinful citizens of whatever place, no? Very externally, apparently cultural, but in essence they will be very, very sinful because they will exploit other people, trouble other people. So whenever any such kind of thing happens, then you'll get a reaction for that, no? Or if you, indulge in all the other sinful activities, drinking, illicit sex, blah, 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 whatever. So it doesn't matter whether somebody is an atheist or somebody is a believer. If you do the same sin, you get the same reaction. No? So there's no excuse, I believe. So sometimes even when one believes, it's even worse, no? That's why you said it's a seventh offense against the holy name, no? I'm very good and I'm very but actually, so I can therefore, sometimes commit certain activities, sinful activities, and then I will counteract with some prayaschita or something like this. So that even, maybe even worse. But anyway, whatever the sin is, there are reactions for the sin. Do you not say just because somebody is an atheist or somebody is a believer? No, it's very particular. What kind of sin somebody does, that kind of reaction one receives, no? That's what it is. Okay, anything else? Yeah.
How to stay detached from material things?
By having higher taste. Knowing that Krishna conscious practice is just so much better, so much tastier than anything else. And then we won't be interested in anything, that really has no value. It's just an illusion. So that why would we be attached to something like this? So then they will be detached. It's like, why would you be attached to something that has no substance, that has no quality? When you have Krishna consciousness, you'll have substance, you'll have quality, and you won't care about other things. That's how you will be detached from it. Okay?
And Prabhuji, how we can sustain in bhakti for longer duration?
Only association. Just like we started this class by discussing that on understanding Bhagavatam, only by devotees' mercy. So only by association, by service. Devananda did what? He did some service. Somehow he was inspired. No? And that's it. That was the beginning of Krishna's mercy. No?
So even we fall down in our daily life in various things, but remain in our devotees association,
yes.
Can help us to.
Yes, somehow or other, always understanding, no matter what happens, never leave devotee association. That's our only hope. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.